So overall, scale of 1 to 10, Anthem of the Seas, would you sail on again? Just give me your overall wrap up. Hey cruisers, in today's video, we're gonna be doing a review of Anthem of the Seas. We're gonna be on board for 18 nights, so we're gonna be able to give you a full, expansive review on everything you need to know about Anthem of the Seas. So if you're curious whether or not she's worth sailing on, let's jump into the review right now. So we're on board the Anthem of the Seas, and this is actually an 18-night Transpacific sailing. So we've gotten very intimate with the ship. We know exactly what's on board and what's not on board. So let's jump into the review. So first things first, what are your thoughts on Anthem overall?
It's a great ship. We've been on Quantum before. Wasn't our favorite layout. After spending 18 days on board, I've kind of fallen in love with the layout. There's lots of places to go for entertainment, and they are big spaces for entertainment, which allow you to actually go in and enjoy, not feel cramped, and gives everybody a space to go to.
Yeah, when we were on Quantum, I just felt like I just didn't enjoy the layout. It felt awkward and clunky to me. But now that we've been on board this type of ship a second time, I do think that the layout does make some sense. Like having the giant open spaces does make sense for like the music hall, right? A two-story area. But I'm just still not really sold on this Royal Esplanade over the Royal Promenade.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of the main difference, is where most of the other ships, so your Freedom class ships and above, all have the Royal Promenade, which is a wide open center of the ship, straight shot from front to back, so you can get where you're going. This one has a Royal Esplanade. It's on 2 decks, and it kind of meanders in places, and I don't know, not sold on it. But other than that, I actually did enjoy this ship, and I think you're right, it's a good ship. So let's jump into the stuff that people need to know. So first things first, let's talk about our favorite subject, which is
the food.
The food. So we just recorded a video for you guys yesterday on specialty dining on board this ship. So if you're wanting to know about any of the non-included dining options on board, there's 4 restaurants, 3 experiences, a pastry shop, everything you need to know. We're going to link it right here in this review for you guys as soon as it's live. That way you guys know what to expect. So for this, we're just going to keep it to the included dining venues. So for the main dining room, what was your experience like?
Main dining was fantastic. All of the dishes came out, were really good, and I loved our servers. They were super attentive. They actually kind of became family over our long sailings. I know they'd probably even become the same over 7 because they were so attentive, so willing to say hello, get to know you, and vice versa. But I liked that we got to try some different menus. So because we were on here for 18 days, we did get to experience menus that had kind of been retired. So we got to relive some of those. So if you ever want to do an 18-day sailing, long sailing, highly recommend. But everything was fresh, everything was flavorful in the main dining room.
Yeah, so the normal menus we still had, like what you might get on a 5-night or a 7-night sailing, and all of that was fine. It came out fresh, it tasted good. Anwar and Guadav were our waiters, and Shawshank was our head waiter. They were great. So Anwar is actually being moved, I think, to Spectrum, and Guadav is actually going to Legend. So if you're sailing on Legend soon, you might get him. But they were fantastic, and the food in the main dining room was fantastic. We had no issues. So like, it's not the most high-end culinary experience you'll ever have, but it is a step up above from the Windjammer, which I thought was a nice break. And we actually went there almost every single night, except for when we went to specialty dining so we could do the review for you guys.
Right, and we even went there for lunch. So we were in the main dining a lot, I feel like, if we were in the Windjammer.
So on board, there's actually 2 buffets, not 1. This ship has a Solarium Bistro, which is on the forward end of the ship, on deck 14, which is also the pool deck. And it's a smaller, intimate buffet with less seating, and I genuinely prefer that over the Windjammer. And then on the aft end of deck 14, or the back of the ship, is where they have the Windjammer, which is your giant buffet. So what was your experience like in both of those?
The Solarium Bistro was nice. It did have more of a Mediterranean healthy vibe, which then brought in those seafoods. So it was a little bit limited for me, but I still was able to get fresh salads. They had pastas. I think one day they even did like a curry, so that was really good too. It's a smaller selection. It's less insane and crazy with all the people. It's more relaxed.
The Windjammer, on the other hand, is ginormous, and they've done a really good job of the layout. It's huge. There's tons of seating. Normally, I feel like we end up fighting for seating, especially like on boarding day, and that hasn't been the case, even though we're sailing at capacity. So even though we're sailing at capacity, plenty of seating, and the Windjammer is basically set up with like islands, and there's like 6 of them, and they mirror each other. So you can go on either side and get the same thing, and they have the one big island, and then 2 smaller ones on the sides that have like either salads or breads or pastries in the morning or desserts. So it was a good layout, and I felt like the food was buffet style food. You know, it was good at times. Other times it was hit or miss. They had this like roasted jerk chicken that was like crazy good, and then the other chickens they brought out were like okay. But I felt like we've gone there almost every day for breakfast, and it's been good. It's been solid. When we have lunch there, the lunch has been great too. It's a
solid choice.
It's a solid choice, right? So for me, I give the Windjammer like an 8 out of 10. It's a buffet, so it's not going to be a 10 out of 10. Solarium Bistro gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Slightly healthier, slightly smaller, more intimate. I just like that vibe a lot better. And then the main dining room gets a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I would definitely 10 out of 10 for the main dining room. Solarium Bistro, I would give it probably an 8 because of my selections are limited. And then I really enjoyed the Windjammer. I would give it a 9 because you could even get your coffee and that sort of deal while you were there too. So that was very nice.
So to finish up the food section, let's talk about alcohol on board. So what has your experience been like with the alcohol?
Well, my favorite drink was in Wonderland. So if you go to Wonderland, get the White Rabbit. It's wonderful. But I think all the drinks were good. I've had trouble finding my favorite mudslide. I don't know if I've had a bar where I went to every time for it. That's usually my judge. I try them from all the different bars. They were all a little bit different. But as far as like the mixes, the wine availabilities, everything was good.
Yeah, I gotta agree on almost everything. The White Rabbit is fantastic. I actually had 2 of them when we were at Wonderland. It was so good. But I've had no issues walking up to a bar, getting a drink. All the drinks have been great. Solid pours, not over poured. They taste delicious. Fast service. And I feel like no matter where we went, it was a good experience with the bartenders. Yes. So I've had 0 issues with alcohol on board. I feel like everything's been great. I'm trying to think of a bad drink that I had that I didn't like, but honestly, I feel like everything I've tried has been great, even at the specialty restaurants.
Yeah, they've all been good. And there's so many bars around the ship. So you can find your favorite and there won't be a line. It was mind-blowing that we maybe waited 1 minute, maybe 2. If the bar was packed, it was phenomenal.
So Anthem of the Seas was built in 2015, at least that's when it was launched. Sales with about 4,825 passengers when fully booked, and it went through refurbishment last year. And so it launched, did a Sydney tour, and now it's coming back home to America. So what are your thoughts on the ship's current condition and just the general impression of Anthem?
I feel like overall it's in really good shape. I know they've done balcony maintenances, 2 of them while we're on the sailing once a week. They're constantly cleaning the decks. They're constantly cleaning railings, everything, lots of maintenance while we are sailing, which is really cool. So it looks fresh and clean. I know there's been some people within our Facebook group that their balconies and things don't look quite as refreshed that they're working on, but our experience at our balcony, everything looks great.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I feel like overall the ship's in great shape. I've been really impressed with it. Like, I look for these reviews for things to point out, and I just don't have anything. I don't have like a bunch of rust anywhere. The outside of the paint looks good. The inside of the ship looks good. Everything's working. The doors work well. Everything's smooth. The elevators are in good working condition. All of them. The pool deck looks good. I mean, everything looks really good. The carpets look nice. So like the ship's in great shape. So if the age was a concern for you, I wouldn't worry about that. Okay, so let's talk about the clientele. Now, this is an 18-day sailing, which means that it's going to be slightly different from what you might get on a 5 to 7 night sailing, but we can still talk about it. So go ahead.
So this sailing is primarily, oh my gosh, I would say 50 and up, primarily. There's a few younger families, a few younger people. I think the Adventure Ocean Club only said there were around 200 kids on board and that everybody registered to come in, which was kind of funny. So this one is an older sailing for right now, but going into Alaska, it's a fantastic ship for families because it has that indoor pool, a lot of indoor spaces, and I won't spill into all of that yet. But it's a great ship for any type of age, and that's what it's built for.
And on a shorter sailing, I gotta imagine it's gonna be similar to your typical 5 to 7 night sailings, especially when it's going through Alaska. It's gonna be families looking to do Alaska together, or maybe bucket listers trying to do Alaska together. So, Anthem of the Seas, what is there to do on board?
That's a really long list, to be honest. So you have your typical venues on board. You've got your theater, you've got your pubs, you've got your boleros, you've got your schooner bars, the pool deck, those that are kind of found on every ship. Now, the really cool thing about this ship is they have a music hall, and it is a 2-story venue that hosts anything from, they had church this morning in there while I was working. They have musicians come in. They did an arts and crafts class, a little bit of everything in there. They have 270, which is a lounge entertainment space in the back of the ship that has beautiful views. They have karaoke there. They had
Spectra's Cabaret.
Spectra's Cabaret was in there.
The library's in there.
That's true. The library's in there, so lots of things. And then they also have the SeaPlex, which is your indoor area. So if you're walking along this ship, you're going to notice, where's my outdoor basketball court? Where are all my outdoor things? All of that is indoors on this ship.
Yeah, and the SeaPlex is really cool because they can host so many things. There's a basketball, pickleball, volleyball, bumper cars.
Yes,
this
roller
ship
skating.
Has bumper cars on board, roller skating, a bunch of cool stuff that happens there. They even did like a family festival on board inside the SeaPlex, and then it has your ping pong tables inside and games inside, so the wind's not affecting those. And the Xbox Center, really cool. And then it also has other experiences like the FlowRider outside, which is their surf simulator, and then iFLY, RipCord, which is basically skydiving in a wind tunnel, which is a really cool thing. I mean, how many times can you say you went skydiving, you know, in the Pacific, in a cruise ship, or in the Atlantic on a cruise ship? It's a really cool thing. Not many cruise ships have those. So they have the rock climbing wall, shuffleboard courts, pretty much whatever you want to do. If you're looking for it, this ship has it. It is packed with stuff to do.
Yes.
So since we're talking about things to do, obviously there's the kids club for the kids, and they do a ton of stuff like arts and crafts and watch movies and coloring and just making things to wear, face painting. I mean, they've done a great job with the kids. But for adults, let's talk about the shows. So how have the performances been for you on board?
So far, they've been really great. There was only one show that we kind of left out of, wasn't our cup of tea. But we've gone to band performances. We've gone to the music hall to watch multiple bands play and musicians play. We've done the theater shows. We did the 270 shows. So I think so far, everything has been wonderful.
Yeah, so on board currently, the main production is We Will Rock You. That is a 2-hour performance with no intermission, just goes straight through. And what's crazy is I got to give it to the Aussies. Like,
oh my gosh,
these guys are serious about their shows. I'll show you a clip now of the line. The line, this was half the line. So it started all the way back in the middle of the Esplanade and went all the way to the theater, and they started lining up 2 hours before the performance. And by the end of it, we were told by the Royal Caribbean staff that the line had started at the door and went all the way across the Esplanade to the aft end of the ship and was actually at the main dining room for the first performance of We Will Rock You, which is crazy. But the show itself was really fun, really energetic, good music, just a wall of sound hitting you.
Yes.
The performers are great. The cast was great. I thought it was a really good show.
Set, lighting, everything, spot on.
Yeah, it was great. They brought a headliner on called Jason Singh. He used to be in the band Taxi Ride.
Yeah.
He was so good that people wanted him to come back, and he did not one matinee show, but 2 more shows because of how much people liked him, and then he rocked those out.
Yes.
We've seen jugglers, magicians,
Comedians.
comedians. The only one that was kind of meh was Phoenix. He was supposed to be some kind of a mentalist, and 20 minutes into a 45-minute set, we had seen 1 trick, and he had spent the rest of the time talking about his personal history.
His past, yeah.
Yeah, 20 minutes of that. So we were just like, hey, I'm not going to sit here for another 20 minutes to watch 1 more trick. And so we walked out. But otherwise, the shows have been fantastic. The bands on board that aren't the like Royal Caribbean Orchestra have been fantastic. Even the Rock a Rookie, which is karaoke with the live band, was good. The karaoke competition was great. I mean, Iconic Band was good. Great entertainment on board this ship. So what's your experience been like with the staff on board Anthem? Because as we know, staff can make or break an experience.
I've loved everybody. There hasn't been one experience that was even semi-negative. I feel like everybody has been helpful, attentive. Hi, how are you? Everyone seems like they're enjoying themselves here working with Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, I gotta agree. All of the Royal Caribbean plays have been great. We had one minor issue with an experience that was being hosted. Basically, Royal Caribbean allowed somebody to do something, and so they put it on the calendar. It was watercolors with Diane, and that's what it said, watercolors with Diane, all ages. So we went there, and she walked in, and she was this really mean, nasty old lady, and she saw our daughter. She's like, absolutely not. This is not for her. She's too young. I'm like, this is watercoloring. We're not throwing knives here. And she's like, no, no, no. And basically, like, she's got to go. She's not welcomed. So we went down, talked to Royal Guest Services about it. They made it right for us. And nothing I can say negative about a single Royal Caribbean staff. But Diane, you should really not be hosting stuff if you're not a welcoming person. Or at least put it in the thing that, you know, it's not all ages, like it said. So overall, scale of 1 to 10, Anthem of the Seas. Would you sail on it again? Just give me your overall wrap-up.
1000%, I would sail on her again. I hate that she's going to be all the way back in Australia and overseas. It's a long flight for us, but I know she's a great ship for anybody who gets to sail on her. I know I've got clients that are going to be sailing on her soon, and I'm excited for them now spending time on it. Man, what would I give it? I want to give it a 10 because there hasn't been any issues, like nothing that I can put my finger on that I'm like, yes, let's fix this. Like, everything has been great.
Anthem of the Seas for me is a great ship. I've really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the staff. And we've had a lot of sea days. Like in an 18-night sailing, you're going to have some sea days. So we had some sea days on board where we were stuck on the ship and really had to kind of figure out what can we do, where can we go. Man, there's so much to do on this ship, so many places to go. It really hasn't been a problem. This is a fantastic ship, and we've had a fantastic time. The crew's great. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 as well. Anthem is just crushing it right now. It's in good shape. The crew's great, and there's just so much to do on any sailing. Well, guys, we hope that review was helpful. If it was, don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, we appreciate you so much. You can always use the QR code here to have Amy book the perfect cruise on the perfect itinerary for you, maybe even aboard the Anthem of the Seas. As always, we appreciate you, and we will see you on the next one.